the slippery slope is real, which is one of our mantras here. The slippery slope is real. Never accept this argument. Oh, that's the slippery slope fallacy. No, it's a real thing. Who would have ever thought we would have drag queen story hour? Like, wait, what is that? And wait until you hear what they're doing now. You thought it was going to end there? Oh, how cute. You thought it was going to end at drag queen story hour. I got an email the other day from a listener of the radio show informing me that drag queen story hour is back at a San Diego library. It's back, which is great. COVID's over. If we're back to having the absolutely essential drag queen story hours now back in business. Now, it gets worse, as it always does and always will. We're not even close to the bottom. I don't know if you've ever had an addict in your life or you've been, and you're always like, oh, like this must be rock bottom. That I'm sure this is their rock bottom. They're not even close to rock bottom. In America, we're like, oh, this is as low as we. No, not even close. So here's just the next step. The Labour Party in a town in England. So Labour Party is essentially their Democratic Party. Right? So they're Democrats, commissioned a group that makes furry costumes. Guys, do not put this picture up yet. That one's fine. Don't put the one up that we're going to put up. They make furry costumes to perform for kids at a library because we need to promote literacy, and there's just no other way to do it. And one of these fine gentlemen came dressed up, and a kid's warning here, if there's any kids listening, they came dressed up as a rainbow monkey with his nipples exposed, a giant fake butt with his anus exposed, and of course, no costume is complete without a giant dildo hanging between his legs. Now you're saying, Slater, there's no way that happened. How dare you make that up? How dare you besmirch the drag queen story hour community or something? You ready? There it is. Blurt it out. So that's fine. Here's him running out of a grocery store, bending over and showing himself to passerbyers. That's nice. That's nice. So I don't have any videos of him performing in front of kids. So when I first saw these, I was like, well, no, there's no way. There's no way. But here's a video of the three characters running out of the library. Do we have sound on this, guys? Go play the whole thing.
Hello, everybody. It's Mama G here. I hope you are having an absolutely gorgeous Monday. I am very excited to be here.
That's all I can take. Got it. Cut that. That's horrific. But you saw him running out, flopping his business all over the place. That was the library. And the tweet said, did you see these characters causing mischief? Get ready, George Lane and Southwood for Library. We're coming for you next. Hashtag Summer Reading Challenge. With his, you know what, all over. So they were promoting this. They were like, hey, check it out here. Come on, kids. Before they spread that video, people started to be outraged, and then indeed the library had to apologize. And that's finally when I was like, oh, yeah, that really happened. So we got to go. We got a lot of great guests coming up next. These are just perverts. These are perverts who are getting access to your kids. They're grooming your kids at a younger and younger age. This may be one of the worst things about our schools is the sexualizing of kids. It's true of pop culture, of course, as well. But I mean, maybe you heard about this elite private school in New York City. They had a porn literacy event. Porn literacy. So this will obviously trickle down to all public schools because, of course it will, because you got to be critical of everything, right? It's critical blank theory, right? Critical race theory, critical gender theory, critical whatever theory. Critical just means you got to just tear everything down. and then you replace whatever you've torn down with perversions of that truth and goodness. Get your kids out of public school. One of the most important aspects of woke culture is to dismantle the innocence of children. This is from James Lindsay. He says, the belief is that the innocence we encourage in children is part of the systems of power that enforce heteronormativity and cisnormativity and thus lead to oppression of gay and potentially trans kids. So the idea is, here's how it goes. We straight people we have this innocence of children. We want to shield these sexually perverse things from our kids, and we have this innocence of children. But these woke people, critical race people, what they say is, oh, no, what you're doing is you're shielding them from their true identity potential. So what we need to do is we need to queer these spaces. That's what they call it. We need to sexualize and queer these spaces at as young as possible, right? The kids as young as possible, so that they can be aware of different potentialities beyond your straight, non-trans identities. So you're the patriarchy, and you're oppressing children by keeping them away from these other gay things. That's their argument. That's what Drag Queen Story Hour is. There's also another element of, kids are wiser and more pure than adults. So we need to corrupt them and expose them so that they can be of an even higher wisdom. They already are, but we need to make them even higher wisdom than adults. Right? So it's ridiculous. Right? But this is why, we've talked about this before too. This is why they're celebrating lately more queer characters in cartoons. Kids' cartoons. There's no such thing as childhood to these perverts. And so many parents willingly hand their kids over to these people, including in our public schools. Get your kids out of government schools now. I met someone the other day. I actually called them up. I called up a business, and they said, hey, is this Mike Slater? I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, hey, I listen to your show every day. I took my kid out of public school because of you. It's beautiful. It's the nicest compliment anyone's ever given me. Can't wait to hear more of that.
Wow, that was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like, subscribe, get more.